good? What's good? What's
What a
good? Welcome
perfect
back
song
to
for
We Talking About Sports. Chill song. That's a chill beat, funky beat. What do you think, Ron?
it's a
Who gets
perfect song
producer
for a day like
credits?
it's a perfect song for a day like today. Tell you that.
Special day for you?
For all of us,
Celebrating
I think.
something?
For all
That's
four of
a
us.
Mac Miller type beat right there
Yeah,
on
I
YouTube.
like that.
What's up, boys? We're here. We're going live. It's Thursday, Thirsty Thursday. Cheers to anybody watching and drinking out there. We got some NBA playoffs going on tonight. We have some NBA playoffs that went on yesterday. The whole crew's here. Do a little NBA recap. Justin, Roland, Ron, how y'all feeling today?
Good,
I
man.
could be better.
I'm ready to get over yesterday.
I heard the news that Ja was going to be out, and I thought, oh, I'm celebrating. We're going to walk through these Grizzlies. I'm thinking, hell, we might do this in 5. And, that's not the result I wanted last night. So I could be better. Can't say I'm bad, but I could be better.
Yeah, feeling
Ron, I
good.
see you. And Ron with the Cavs jersey, Roland.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
He
Hey,
can't
but
be doing that good.
he still got the
No, well,
Lakers
this is
yellow and
this
gold
is the
behind
LeBron.
them.
Yeah, well, this is the
Cavs
LeBron
hat
that we
too,
need.
Roland.
You know, the guy that's wearing this shirt. Yeah, this is the LeBron that we need right here.
Ron, is that you summoning LeBron? Is that like the bat symbol for you? You're sending it out like, Ron, we need this one. Is that what that is?
Yeah, man. I mean, if this isn't as LeBron watches the show, if he needs to go to this LeBron, then I don't know what else to do, man. I'm even wearing Adidas. I'm even wearing Adidas, man. I don't. I'm checks over stripes. They got me wearing Adidas, bro.
Wow,
Gotta do what you gotta do for your man.
Yeah, Ron's going there today. He's summoning the big Charizard here in LeBron James, Cleveland Cavs LeBron James. Roland, your thoughts on last night? How you doing today?
Doing good, man. Doing good. I'm just, as a Spurs fan, just, waiting for this playoffs to be over so we can get through to. Well, actually, it won't be over, but just, on the countdown for the lottery month in. So just waiting to see where we end up and just watching you guys, or the Lakers fans in here panic over what's going on. Although I will say, we were on here on a Monday, and I was talking and I'm still here thinking that the Lakers are going to win this series, but we were talking about the Lakers possibly making quick work of these Grizzlies, but as we all know, the Grizzlies, let's just get right to it. We had the screen on there as 103-93, ended up winning the game without Ja Morant, as we all mentioned. They came away late. Dylan Brooks with the fire emojis on his eyes hit one right in LeBron's eye, got in his grill, let him know what's up. Grizzlies walk away with a victory, and they got another patented victory without Mr. Ja Morant. Do you guys think this team gels a little bit better without Ja Morant? Do you put any credence in that? And the only reason why I'm even bringing this up is because we have, I think, a large enough sample size to bring this into question, because Ja Morant has been out for long stretches of time before, and the Grizzlies have shown that they have the ability to play without him. So the guys' thoughts on the game, and do you think the Grizzlies are good with Ja sitting another game or two?
You know what? I think they can afford to sit him at this point. If, like you said, there's enough sample size. 32-17 is what they were at without Ja. That's a lot of wins without Ja. So it seems like they can get it done. And last night they did it without Ja, but they also did it without the big man. Steven Adams not there. So you thought, okay, the sample size might be a little skewed because Ja's not here, but at least they still have Steven Adams in those wins. So we can't really, take into consideration that. Well, they did it without both those guys. So I think there's something there. I think there is something there. They probably mesh a little better. They move the ball around a little more. Of course, you want an X factor like Ja to be on the court, but they're doing okay without him.
Yeah, I think it's pretty safe to say they got the best backup point guard in the NBA, bro.
Tyus Jones.
Tyus Jones has been money. He moves the ball around. The spacing's there. He's got a respectable three-point jump shot. In my eyes, I do think that he's the best backup in the league. But I mean, let's be real. That was a do or die game for the Grizzlies, because if they go down 0-2 going back to LA, you're probably bringing the brooms out. Ron would have a parade on this, that first round victory parade. And if it was a sweep, it'd be ugly. So they definitely needed that game. Alex was in the comments talking about Xavier Tillman, household name. 23 points, 13 rebounds. He only missed 2 or 3 shots all game. That's what you need, right? That was Jaren Jackson Jr. game 1. But, the life got sucked out of the building and the Grizzlies after that jaw injury, in my opinion, in game 1. But the series is interesting, bro.
Yeah.
The Lakers are probably still the favorites to win. Based off this, you probably expect Ja to maybe come back in game 4, right? You're tied 1-1 going back to LA. Let's see how game 3 plays out, and then game 4 you come back, maybe a little more healed and rested. So I do think that they sit Ja one more game, personally.
So much to unpack here. You, Justin and Ben, you guys have hit it from the Grizzlies side. Ron, give it to us from the LeBron side of things. Let us know. What are you thinking about the Lakers right now? Any worry about guys like Russell not coming through? And do you think LeBron needs to do more? And are you looking at AD maybe a little differently right now?
It's plain and simple. It was an absolute fluke of a game. We see it happen a lot when the team that's undersized comes out, has the game of their life. They probably could have shot a 3-pointer between their legs from half court and made it last night. I mean, that's just how those kind of games go. Every ball falls your way. Your leading scorer is Tillman. I think AD played almost 40 minutes, 38 minutes. He had 13 points. Austin Reeves with 12. Hachimura with 20. I mean, LeBron, the leading scorer at 28. I mean, it was an absolute fluke, guys. It's not going to happen again. The Lakers are fine. And that's it. Let me go quiet that down.
Justin, absolute fluke from your Lakers standpoint. How are you looking at it? I think that you might be looking at it a little differently, although still expecting to win the series.
Yeah, I wouldn't say fluke. They shot it better than us. They were, I think, a 47% shooting last night, or 42 to our 40. And what they did, the difference was they, capitalized on our turnovers. We had 13 turnovers last night. AD was getting stuffed at the rim. It just seemed a little lackadaisical by him. We can't afford AD to come out that way again. He has to be, 1A, 1B as far as an option goes. And last night, it seemed like it was, Hachimura being above AD as far as play goes. And then you had Austin Reeves have some shots that he made and got to the line a bit. But, man, when you started that second half, Bron didn't touch the ball for like 4 minutes in that second half to start the second half. It was wild. I'm not sure, what was going on, why we weren't more aggressive with that. And these small lineups where LeBron's at center for the majority of the time and AD's resting, we are at minus 17 on that plus minus when AD's out. So that's something we got to look at.
What do y'all think about D'Lo's performance in the playoffs so far? I mean, D'Lo looks like a guy that's kind of fringe unplayable. It's just that, he was kind of that midseason trade that was going to get you over the hump or give you that spark. But
you asked me this last time, and I said he wasn't going to have another bad game. And here we are with another bad game.
That's exactly who I'm looking at right now. It's D'Lo. And not only am I looking at D'Lo, but I also am looking at Anthony Davis. Not going to let him get away unscathed here. But D'Lo is the guy that they traded for. They brought over. He was supposed to be their point guard. And now, if you watch that game, he's not even the one bringing the ball up. It's Austin Reeves. And I know we were giving Austin Reeves his praise, but that should not be the case. There's something, in my eyes, at least in this series, wrong with that picture. Either his confidence is shot, which it looks like, the way he's shooting the ball, there's no confidence in the way that he's shooting. You can tell he's just shooting because he's open. He went 2 of 11 last night, I think it was, or maybe the night before. But definitely not looking good from D'Lo. And Anthony Davis should never have 13 points in a game like this, especially when we've already noted there's no Steven Adams, and they really only have Jaren Jackson to throw at him. Should never have 13 points unless he's going to be giving you like 20 or 25 rebounds and like 6 blocks and having a monster game other ways.
He wasn't the leading rebounder either, Roman.
The thing with D'Lo, guys, also is we come and bring in the backup, which is Schroeder. Schroeder sucks even worse. He's 0 for 3. He can't shoot it this playoffs.
He's also get that shot in the playing game that saved you all, bro.
Okay, didn't save us.
This is the problem with Lakers
AD went and fouled. That didn't save us.
They forget right away, Roman. They forget right away.
We're talking about the series here. We're talking about the series, right?
We gotta talk about this series.
He's even worse than D'Lo is. He was 0 for 3 last night.
It looks like D'Lo has the yips, bro. It looks
Yeah,
like
exactly.
it looks like he has hot potato when the
He's
ball's
afraid
in
to
his
shoot it.
hand. He's double clutching. He's looking for fouls and throwing up bullshit. Like it doesn't look good for him. And he was supposed to help with the 3-point shooting. Hopefully at home, at home.
Yeah.
This is when I don't want to call him a role player because he's definitely not supposed to be a role player. Although he might be playing like one, but at home is when the role players start hitting. Right? You saw Dylan Brooks hit that dagger 3, run back and call LeBron old. He's probably not doing that in LA, but it was in Memphis. He was at home. He pulled up, and maybe when he shouldn't have, but he hit that shot. So I expect some of the Lakers, like guys like Schroeder, maybe D'Lo gets it fixed at home. You got to expect the role players to play a little bit better at home.
Look, this is it, man. It's simple. This is still a 7 seed versus a 2 seed. All right. If John Morant doesn't get hurt, you go away thinking, hey, Lakers did what a 7 seed should do. Go on the road, win a game, come back home, and get back-to-back games. It's just the whole John Morant injury that threw everything for a loop because you say they have to win game 2. They should have won game 2. They should be up 2-0. But at the end of the day, it's a 7 seed going to a 2 seed. They steal one there. They go back home. They're going to get their stuff together, and they have a chance to go up 3-1. And that's the bottom line, really, if you look at it.
Yeah, they stole home court. They did their job. I mean, if we're just to call a spade, they did their job. They went and got home court.
Simple. There's no need to panic.
What else?
Anything else on this game last night before we move on to the second game of the night?
The only other thing to unpack
predictions if Jaw's going to play game 3. Predictions.
Nah, he won't play. No Jaw game 3.
I say no as well.
Yeah, I'm with you. Him winning or the Grizzlies winning, I think that affords them to rest him one more time.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to play or not.
Roland, did you have anything else on this game?
Nah, I'm good. Good here. Let's get on to the next one.
Here it is, Roland. Lead us in.
I mean, there's really not a lot to unpack here other than the Grizzlies again, not the Grizzlies, but another team like the Grizzlies didn't have their star player. Giannis out for the Bucks, ultimately didn't play. The Heat came out strong game 1. Bucks answered. They held court at home, got a big victory, 138-122. Heat also playing a little bit hampered without Harrow here. Does Giannis need to come back for the Heat for the Bucks to finish this off, or does this game give you enough confidence in this group to get through maybe the series and give Giannis a little bit of rest and get ready for that second round?
I think that Giannis will come back. I don't think that he needs to, though. I do think that the Bucks are good enough to beat the hero-less Heat. Because let's be honest, Hero is, one of their better offensive weapons on a team that's very offensively challenged, aside from Jimmy Butler. So I do think that the Bucks can win without Giannis, but I think Giannis does come back and play some games in this series.
Yeah, I think with last night's game, I think what we're going to see is I think Giannis will need to come back for this series because last night Milwaukee was 51% from three-point shooting last night. I don't think they're going to replicate that again. So I think you're going to need to bring in your star like Giannis to just push them forward because the Heat, they're tough. They're dogs. Butler's a dog, and Adebayo's a dog on down low. So I think they definitely need Giannis to come back in this series at some point to just get him over that hump.
Yeah, I think Giannis is just a difference of a game, whether the series goes, 5 or 6 or 6 or 7. He's just that guy that if you really need to win the game, you bring him in to just close out the series. I don't think that Milwaukee's going to shoot the way that they did again, but like Roland was saying, Hero not being there kind of trumps that. You got to go with Milwaukee, and if Giannis plays 5, if not 6, they win the series. It doesn't go 7. So either way, that's kind of how I look at it. It's pretty much a wash with Giannis and Hero.
Yeah, and really the Bucks, ever since they came into the series, a little bit forward looking to the second round and who they were going to be matching up out of the 4 and 5 slot there in the East. It's just, the Heat kind of limped in, if you will. They lost that first game to the Bulls, so nobody was really expecting much. Do you guys, if Giannis comes back, game 3, quick work, 4-1, 4-2 maybe, Bucks move on? Because, I really don't know what else to unpack here on this Bucks Heat series other than that injury.
Yeah, I think it makes it quicker work, which gives them more time to rest, I believe. I mean, there's not much this series. The Bucks have just got more depth, man. They probably the most depth in the NBA right now. Do you think? Like, who has more depth than the Bucks right now?
They're
Yeah, it's
definitely
probably
up there. They're
the
Bobby
Sixers are pretty deep
Portis.
too.
Yeah, but I mean, even then,
Wow.
like Giannis is out and Bobby Portis comes in, and Bobby Portis is a guy that can easily give you 20 and 10 every night.
Bobby
It's
P?
definitely, yeah, it's going to be a different 20 and 10 than Giannis, right? Because Giannis is going to do it a lot flashier and more dominant. But Bobby Portis can do that exact same thing. I was talking to one of my coworkers, man, and it's crazy how, remember, Bobby Portis was on the Bulls, bro. You know, a young Bobby Portis.
Yeah.
And the Bulls went and traded for the Pelican shooter, Mirotic. Remember him?
Yeah,
They traded like a first-round
Not
draft
really.
pick.
The
And then
Serbian
Bobby
guy.
Portis broke his jaw at practice. And now the dude never played another NBA game. And here's Bobby Portis on the Bucks, you know, NBA champion and a big part of their team. He's obviously like one of their first guys off of the bench. At least Middleton is healthy. You know, Holiday's healthy. It's for the most of the season, they haven't had Middleton. Now they do. I think that they just have enough weapons, enough team chemistry, and they're just a better team to beat the Heat. Giannis or no Giannis, possibility of 7 games without Giannis, but with Giannis, I don't think that the Heat win another game.
Yeah, I think it's all consensus that the Bucks go ahead and move on here from this series.
All right, let's move on to the last game of the night, 122-113, the Timberwolves, which was a pretty good game for what? Maybe 3, almost 4 quarters, almost that fourth quarter. I mean, they pulled away in the end. It was a good game. It was close for a while there.
I say I love the
what do you guys
graphics
think
on
here?
this. I love the graphics on
You
this
know, the
one.
lone wolf over
Yeah,
here because
that's
can't get the help.
probably the most interesting thing to talk about in this series is the Nuggets are up 2-0, another team that I think is forward looking to the next round. The Wolves, another team just like this last one, they kind of limped in, didn't have much expectations for them, but I just like these graphics here. It's a battle of the frontier. I just can't get over that right now. So, but yeah, good stuff for the Nuggets. I mean, not really much to unpack other than they're probably going to sweep the Wolves.
Yeah, definitely, man. I mean, you have Anthony Edwards going for 41 last night, but that still wasn't enough because Jamal Murray came back and dropped a 40 piece as well. 8 for 9 from the free throw line, 13 for 22.
Like the bubble,
just
Jamal
like the other
Murray.
series, man. Yeah, I mean, there's really not much to say. Like you guys said, the Wolves are going to take care of business. The Nuggets are going to take care of business in 5 games or less. Anthony Edwards dropped 40 and they still lost. I mean, what else can they do? 122-113.
But I'm glad you brought up.
I think that's the ceiling. It's the absolute ceiling for the Wolves, and it still wasn't enough. So Nuggets in 5.
I'm glad you brought up Jamal Murray because I don't know if you guys remember when Bones Highland got traded from the Nuggets to the Clippers. He had that interview in his introductory press conference where he was talking about, having the opportunity to play with 2 great players and Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, saying that, in Denver so far, I've had the opportunity to play with, 1 great player. He's like, Joker, he's great. He's like, now I get to play with 2 great players. There was a little bit of rift between him and Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray obviously needs to be that guy for the Nuggets so they want to have a serious run here in the Western Conference playoffs. If you're talking about going to the finals, Ben, do you see Jamal Murray holding up this play and helping the Nuggets get over the hump? They've been the number 1 seed before. They've been in this position, but I really think it needs to come down to Murray, or do you think they get it done with or without him?
They have to have him. It's always
nice with or without him playing that. At that level is what
at that level, I think that he's got to be playing at that level because it's nice when Joker doesn't need to be your leading scorer. Obviously, he can fill up the stat sheet, right? Rebounds, points, and assists. But when Murray can go for 40 and Joker can still have, his cool 20 and add in wherever he adds in, it's nice. I mean, Murray's an elite shot maker, bro. Yesterday, he was making some tough-ass shots. Also, I got to shout out Michael Porter Jr.
Yeah.
I'm a big hater of him. I know Roland, you're a fan of the guy, and you tend to think pretty high of him. In this series, he's done a pretty good job, man. When he's getting open 3-pointers, he's hitting. He hit that and one also over Crowder, but he just seems very confident. Obviously, on the defensive end, That's still something that he has to work on. But offensively, bro, he seems like he's come into his own. And I was a big hater on him. I have to say these first 2 games against the Wolves, Michael Porter Jr. has looked really good.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that's never seen a shot that he doesn't like. And he's definitely on the streaky side. But when he gets it going, like you said in this series, he can be one of that third scorer that they need, because it's not going to come from Aaron Gordon.
Right.
Ron, any thoughts on? I know you gave your thoughts on the game, but what are your thoughts on the Nuggets going forward? Do you see them making a real run here? I know they are the 1 seed, but do you see them maybe getting over the hump?
Yeah, I mean, compared to the other Western Conference teams, the way that they're playing, we know that the Warriors are down in their series. Injuries all over the place. I think the only other team that may look solid at this point are the Kings, in my opinion. You guys just talked about Michael Porter Jr., very deep squad. Like you said, you just finished, reiterating that if Joker can just go for 20, I mean, they have this, or it could be vice versa. He could go for 40, and, Murray can just put up 20. They have the deepest squad. They've been together for a while, and I think they have the best shot of coming out of the West, man. Now that after these, first round games are going on right now, I mean, would you pick anybody else over them right now?
The only reason that I wouldn't pick them is because of their defense. Like, I'm not going to lie, Rudy Gobert looked pretty good yesterday. And if you're making
heavy,
yeah, like Rudy Gobert was eating, bro. And if you're making Rudy Gobert look good, a guy that I think they do those player surveys and shit. I think the consensus of the league would shit on Rudy Gobert. COVID shit aside, you remember he started that, right? But I think just on his play and his spacing, I thought yesterday he did play really well. So
he went 19, 8, and 4 yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, that's not the worst, right? A little 20 piece. He should have more rebounds. I ain't gonna front, but he was active. I just think that the Nuggets give up too many layups, bro. I think they give up too many layups.
Yeah, it looks like a layup line out there sometimes.
Anthony Edwards was getting whatever he wanted at the rim as well. Just got to be athletic, and you can score on the Nuggets.
Yeah, you definitely got to have a little bit of both to win the title, offense and defense, in terms of being top 10 in both categories, which I think the Nuggets probably aren't on defense. But any other NBA to talk about, Justin, that you want to hit?
That's it for yesterday's game. Let's get into today's games, and we'll start off with the 76ers and the Nets. That's today's price, minus 200 on the Sixers and plus 170 for the Nets. Guys, I mean, what's there to talk about here? The Nets are...
Is that yesterday's price or today's
price? So what's here to talk about? I mean, minus 200. It seems like they've made easy work of the Nets so far. What are we thinking?
Me and Ben were just talking about it off camera. I think the line's minus 4.5, if not 5. I'm gonna keep it sweet, man. The Nets need to have crazy stats, fillers. You need to have your players 20 and 10, 30, and they're just not that squad, bro. They don't have the firepower to keep up with the 76ers and Joel Embiid. I see this possible sweep going down for the Sixers, and it starts tonight. Harden had 2 points, I think Ben said. I don't think that definitely doesn't happen again. They go into Brooklyn, they take care of business, and they go up 3-0.
Well, the game started.
Yeah,
Brooklyn's up 6-4, and Embiid just swung his leg up, toward the nuts of Claxton. So, so the refs are reviewing it. Yeah, Draymond Green style, flared the leg up purposely. It didn't really hit him in the nuts, but the intent was there. I don't know. It's definitely going to be a flagrant. It's definitely going to be a flagrant. 100% going to be a flagrant. I don't know whether it's going to be a 1 or a 2, but there's 9 minutes and 34 seconds left in the game. So obviously, if Embiid does get ejected on some Draymond Green shit, this minus 200 is going to be way off the number.
Happen? Claxton step over on him?
Yeah, he kind of stepped over, but there's no need for Embiid to do that. Oh. That's kind of how LeBron baited Draymond Green that 1 year.
And Claxton sold it. He dipped to the floor as soon as he got hit.
Yeah.
That might be the most interesting development so far in this series, because I was about to say
I was writing this off already.
Yeah, well, no, this is another series that this is more forward-looking more than anything, right? This is a series where we all know we have the Eastern Conference Finals taking place in the Eastern Conference semis this year with the Sixers and the Celtics, and that's what this is all about. It's about do you guys think the Sixers have done anything in this series to convince you that they're going to beat the Celtics in the next round, or are you just not even looking at this?
Shit, I picked the Sixers to represent the East, so I'm going with the Sixers. I'm hoping James Harden is getting his bad series, out the way. But it's always a good day when James Harden's playing basketball. Yeah, hey,
You love yourself some James Harden.
I love some James Harden. Flagrant one foul for Joel Embiid.
Here's the thing about that, Ben. The inverse is also Celtics playing the Hawks. How good are the Celtics? How good do we know the Celtics are? Yeah, they're beating the Hawks, but they're the Hawks.
Yeah.
So,
bro, the Celtics are some choke artists, bro.
How do we measure it? Because it's not like they're playing a great team either. So I feel like we don't know the true measurement of these two teams because they're not playing.
Well, we do know the Celtics' true caliber is they represented the East in the finals last year, and they almost beat the Warriors. So that's what the Sixers are going up against. And I'm pretty sure when they match up, if no injuries happen here, the Celtics will probably be favored in that series. If slightly, it's going to be close. It's probably going to be something like what we saw with the Lakers and Grizzlies. I'll give it maybe like -140, -150 Celtics on a series price over the Sixers. But they've been there before. They're deep too, just as deep as the Sixers, if not maybe a little bit deeper when you look at their bench. But yeah, this is what this series is about. It's just whether or not they're going to get through the Nets unscathed and get themselves ready for that matchup with the Celtics. So yeah. Hopefully,
there's been a lot of hype about Derek White, bro. The guy's been playing well in the playoffs. I mean, last year in the finals, I would say that's the guy that the Warriors were leaving open to take some of those wide open shots and just kind of live or die with Derek White making or missing. But this season on Twitter, on the Twitter streets, which are the only streets that I'm on, there's been a lot of Derek White hype. And albeit, there's a lot of Spurs fans on my Twitter feed as well that are hoping that Derek White ends up beating DeJounte Murray because of, they're both of the guys splitting off. But the Derek White hype, I don't know if I'm all the way there with it. I mean, he's a good player, but
he's not
when you're that guy that the other team kind of leaves open and say like, all right, we're going to live with you shooting the open three because these guys are more important. I'm just not willing to give you that, respect yet.
Well, he was definitely that guy in the playoffs last year, especially in the finals, that the Warriors were willing to let live. And it worked for them because, Derek White looked lost, I thought, in that finals. But he's getting a lot of hype just because when you talk about making the right basketball play, like wanting the guys on your team that they're going to D up every possession. He's putting Trae Young in a chamber right now. He's got the locks on him. Just stuff like that. He makes the right play consistently on offense. He's not afraid to shoot the three, but that's kind of, the hit or miss with him. If he gets inside of his head, in a series, like if he starts missing in the Sixers series, he could be that guy that you're talking about, Ben, that the Sixers choose to leave alone and that maybe doesn't hurt him. But right now he is playing good. And I think the love is warranted, but I am saying that as a Spurs fan, as you guys see behind me with the stuff that I got, but I'm always going to have love for Derek White. And I got
Ron adamantly saying he's not that guy.
I wouldn't say he's that guy,
he had
but
some
he's all right. He's good.
Well, he went off a couple games last year in the playoffs, and then everybody was following him. His story, the trade, and all this stuff. And then there was a game where they really needed him, and he absolutely choked. I think a lot of the Celtics choked. So it was like you get all this hype, hey, you got to deliver, or you're going to get forgotten about. And it's kind of happening again, but he's giving me no reason to say, oh, yeah, he's going to come through for sure. So leave the guy open. Let him shoot.
I love it.
On to the next one. We got the Golden State Warriors and the Sacramento Kings. Everybody knows the story behind this and what's going on. -255 favorites tonight, and they're going to be out without Draymond Green. He has been suspended overnight. Guys, do you think the -255 price is warranted here?
Fuck, not at all.
That's for the game today, right?
Yeah, this is the game tonight.
Because they're 6-point favorites.
Yeah, 6-point favorites
on the spread. Yeah. I mean, I think it's warranted when you just think about it's backs against the wall, dynasty on the line. They go down 3-0. You're looking at Draymond's. Well, I mean, it is what it is.
I like that. I
the-
like that. I like that frame. I like that. I didn't think
Every,
about it
every,
like that.
everything for the Warriors is on the line tonight. They go down 3-0. There's no chance in hell that they win this series, even if Draymond comes back the next game. And they have it at home. This is it right here. I think it's warranted. I don't know if they get it done because I think the Kings have had their way offensively with them, and we unpacked this game on Monday. And I'm glad Draymond Green got suspended. I'm glad Adam Silver and the NBA associate, whatever you want to call it, the league office made the right decision here. You just can't let the guy go out and do that. You just can't.
And Draymond gets a lot of their offense going. To be without him and be a minus 255 favorite seems crazy to me. I understand those reasons with their back against the wall. I just don't think the price is right. I don't think it's measured correctly.
Yeah, but I mean,
I'll
when
take
the guy
I'm gonna
scores,
take the dogs to go 3-0.
But even then, Roland, like when they plug in, like who's going to start in his place? Maybe Jonathan Kuminga.
They said Wiggins was going to be taking some of that.
Wiggins.
That Kuminga.
But like Kuminga hasn't even really.
They're going to be so
done
small.
Much
They're going to be so
anything in the
small.
playoffs. They're going to be very small. They're very limited at that position as it is. I mean, they got Kevon Looney playing center for them, so
they have Green.
Yeah, they're very limited
Jordan
defensively. Poole. This is a game where Domantas Sabonis might just take those frustrations out from game 2, bro. Because I was talking about him being a punching bag in game 2. He was that dummy at the MMA gym that you ground and pound on. You just beat it up wherever the little bag takes you. So this game, I think that he will take out some frustration. I could see a 20-10 game from Sabonis tonight. They're going to need their superstars on the road. I do think that. Maybe Malik Monk can keep it up on the road, but I think that tonight they're going to need De'Aaron Fox and they're going to need a lot of Sabonis.
I'm going to go with somebody who hasn't had a big game, and he was on every freaking highlight last year. Jordan Poole. I think Jordan Poole is that guy who needs to have a huge game. He had 4 points in 16 minutes. I think if you're Kerr, what do? You can't go big, right? You don't have any bigs to throw at them. I think they're back home. All the hype is going to be there. The crowd is going to be behind it. Obviously, he has to go small. Why not go extra small and just throw a bunch of guards out there, keep the pace up and down, which is hard to do because with a guy like De'Aaron Fox, and those younger cats on the Kings, they can keep up with you. But that's the best chance, I think, for the Warriors to win, man. I don't think they can slow down the pace because once that defense gets set, they're not going to have anything to do. So Jordan Poole is somebody who I think might have a breakout game. Wiggins coming back might help. It's going to be a close game, but give me the Kings and the spread all day because if you think that they win the game, why not take all those points? If it's anything over, what is it, 6, right? Anything 6. Over 5, I really like. So I would definitely take the Kings tonight.
I like what you were saying about the pace, though. The over might be a look, Roland.
That's a good point. I mean, with what I laid out with the backs against the wall, I wish I could take the Warriors with confidence here and say that they're going to win this game. But I'm probably just going to pass on this game altogether because it's a tough call, especially with no Draymond. I do admit he brings a lot to their defense. Can't overlook that. But not looking good for the Warriors here. Dire times for Warriors fans. Dire times.
It's hard not to sprinkle this game, though. At plus 215, you feel good about the Kings. You might as well just take a little shot. I'm not saying throw the whole unit, but a little halfer.
I like it.
If you're into PJ Tucker with the board, hey, if you like
I like it.
Man, bro, what was I gonna say? I forgot. Oh, the Curry point prop, 3-point. It's 4.5. So he's gonna be putting up the rock a lot too, over 4.5 threes. Maybe if you like point props, I would do Curry. Or if you like to tease, like my boy Roland likes to tease, you could tease the Kings to 13, 14, 12.
Yeah, you can get them up there.
That's another look.
Would you, Roland, would you rather tease the Kings up or the Warriors kind of like to a pick 'em in that must-win game? I think
I mean,
no?
I just haven't seen the Warriors. I'm not confident in the Warriors right now enough to put like my money on them in any like fashion. If I were gonna tease them,
sounds like he's zero confidence in the Warriors. I mean,
it would be teasing up the Kings. Although, if the Warriors are gonna win this game, they're gonna blow them out. They're not going to win. Yeah, the Warriors. The Warriors won't win a close game. They've already lost 2 close games. I don't think they have the juice. They don't have I mean, Draymond cost them the last close game by getting ejected, but they don't have one of their leaders in Draymond Green. I can't confidently say that you can expect 20 something out of Klay Thompson, because that's the other guy that we haven't talked about. You need Klay to have a big game.
Yep.
You need
He
Jordan
can do
Poole
it.
to have
He
a
can
big
do it,
game.
but it's hard to expect it at this point.
His
Exactly.
over-under on 3-pointers is 4.5 as well. So, I mean, they're expecting him to put it up from 3. He made 5 last game. My thing here is just like...
Yeah, 21 points.
Yeah, so, I mean, he held...
court.
Wiggins also had 20+. Curry had 20+. I mean, with this backs against the wall type of thing, you would just expect big performances, from their guys, Curry, Klay. I think Curry's got to have 30+ to win, and he's set at 29.5.
Maybe even more.
And I know the league office worked against them, but hey, the Kings have been on the wrong side of the call in to the refs from the league office. We all know that. So who knows what can happen here? Who knows?
All right, Mark Choppa asks, could this be Draymond Green's last year in Golden State?
100%. They're tired of the shit, Mark.
You think the teammates are tired? Has he lost his teammates? I know the front office probably is.
Everybody's tired of it, bro. Everybody's tired of it.
I think we talked about it too, and everyone's been mentioning Jordan Poole in that clip when Draymond Green is going insane. He's just there smiling because he doesn't want to get caught by just a reaction by Draymond Green seeing Jordan Poole and just having that reaction to punch him. Like, he's just smiling. Like, hey, Draymond, do your thing, bro. I don't know if he's lost all of his teammates. He's lost Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr has been done with Draymond for a while. Steve Kerr won't ever say it because he's a professional, and I'm pretty sure that he's not done with him. I'm just saying this crap. But what I'm getting at is Draymond's
body language shows, though, the way he kind of dismisses Draymond when he's talking to him.
Draymond's actions are only acceptable when you're winning. If you're it's a joke because, yes, it's obvious he does more than shows up in the stat sheets. I'll give it to you guys, Warrior fans, and I watch basketball too. I see that he does more than shows up on the stat sheet. But when your nickname is Mr. Triple Single, your shit stinks. Your stuff is going to end up stinking at some point, even if you do bring all these other intangibles to the team. So that's all I'm going to say on that.
And not only that, but Draymond wants to be LeBron's teammate so bad, bro. Draymond will take the vet minimum to be a Los Angeles Lakers.
Give Draymond his wish. Did he podcast? Did he podcast this week? Because I'm pretty
100%.
I don't listen to his podcast. I wouldn't know. I don't even know where to find it.
There's no shot. He knows if you're that hot, you gotta go live.
So give him his wish. He can probably go live on ESPN LA on his spare time, like that girl from the Sparks does. She goes and plays the home games there, and then works in the studio. Chinia Agwake. I don't want to pronounce her name because I don't know how.
I know what you're saying. That's her name.
You're
on it.
Nobody listens to her anyway.
Josh Norman.
It's okay.
The Josh Norman. Yeah, just let him that little intern program into TNT or whatever. Let him start doing that a year early. Send him to LA.
PJ Tucker with the board.
So,
my take on Draymond, real quick, man, is that, dude, this guy has cost that franchise a lot more than people think.
Yep.
He cost them a championship. Let's just get that out of the way.
We didn't even bring it up.
I mean,
yeah,
he cost them a championship, man. So that would have been a three-peat, right? Because they didn't win that year, then they won the next year. They won 4 in a row.
It would have been a 4-peat.
Yeah. I mean, he was on the wrong side of that. So that's one major thing. Another thing is what just happened here. They're the lower seed. They're beating. They were coming back and they had a chance to beat the Kings here. And now you go in a hole 2-0, which you've never been in before. You've always been in the driver's seat. They've never been down 0-2. And then he comes out and says, well, this is where, we've never been here before. And it's going to be a big challenge for us. And I think that, we're going to do it. And then he goes out and gets kicked out of the game. And you're not even going to play, bro. He's cost that franchise a lot, man. And if you're Steph, you're like, dude, you cost me a lot. Obviously, Steve Kerr, he's definitely done after next year. And if you look at his legacy, man, I think he wants to have that role, like I played old school basketball, and that's how I want to get remembered. Yeah, but you're gonna get remembered as one of the biggest jokes ever. He's not professional at all. Jordan Poole could account for that. He tarnishes himself with these actions. Is he going to be in the Hall of Fame? Probably, but he's just going to be that guy that rubs everybody the wrong way. Pause. Like the Rudy Goberts, and it sucks, bro, because the dude is talented. Obviously, he's a champion, but he's just shooting himself in the foot, and he's making himself look really bad. And he's going to get remembered for a lot of wrong things that he did, and instead of the great things that he accomplished over there in Golden State.
Is he first ballot? Is he first ballot?
Not on my ballot, Roland. Never on my ballot. I'll give it his ass.
That guy out of the Hall of Fame.
Josh has Warriors in 6. That Poole will step up.
Let's close out this topic with talking about, because I think aside from Ron, I'll say it. I'm a big ass Warriors hater. I said Warriors in 6 or 7. I'm ready to walk that back. I'm ready to say that the Kings are going to win this series, even though all they did was hold home court. I do think the Kings are going to win this series in less than 7 games. Are you all ready to go to that way also, or do you still, like Josh, have some hope in the Warriors?
Nah, I got the Kings. I got the Kings winning this one in 7, and that's great. That's if the Warriors win tonight. If the Warriors lose tonight, this one's over in 5 or 6. But if the Warriors win tonight, this one is Kings in 7, because I just don't think the Warriors have it in them this year to get it done. They're not playing together.
Those road woes carried over, right, Ro?
Then you're gonna have to win a game 7 on the road.
Yeah,
I mean,
no shot.
Yeah, I think this easily goes to the Kings, because we talk a lot about easily, man, because we talk a lot about the Warriors and their offense, but we don't talk about their defense, man. They give up a lot of points, and all year the Kings have just been blowing people out. They scored 157 points, bro. I mean, hence it was at Portland, but then they come back and score 136, 126. These guys just put it on you, bro. And let's face it, man, those Warriors, they're not as young as they used to be. And the younger guys do not play defense, and they don't have any bigs. So I think, again, even if they go out and all the players have great games, Curry could drop 50, you still have a chance of the way that the Kings play their type of basketball. Let's not forget, we haven't said Coach of the Year, is over there on the sidelines as well. How do you not give them the odds to win this series already?
And there's even rumors that Mike Brown kind of told his guys, like, hey, let's egg Draymond on, that Mike Brown used to be on that staff. Warriors Twitter is against Mike Brown already, bro. The man has done nothing but get the Kings to the playoffs. You know what I mean? But supposedly he kind of said, like, to Malik Monk, to Sabonis, kind of poke at Draymond. You know what I mean?
Whatever it takes.
His fuse is ready to be lit. So, yeah, I mean, props to them. Justin, are you going to make this unanimous? I
was already on the Kings. Remember, I said that De'Aaron Fox would run them out the gym. 38 points the other night. I think I'm good. I'm staying on the Kings.
Hell yeah! I actually have
Justin's
a series
been
play.
good.
I took him before.
Justin's been
Should
good.
we golf clap? Should we golf clap for Ron's series play at plus what, 250?
Yeah, plus 250.
Nice. I like that, Ron. No, it's not over yet. But good.
No, are we ready to do
man,
that, Roland? We all switched to the Kings, Roland.
I know.
Bro,
but
I've been running so bad.
I've
been running so bad.
No, just out of respect
it's
to the
just
bet.
a
Roland has a
golf clap,
ticket.
Roland.
Roland has a ticket. He doesn't want to. He doesn't want to mess it up.
Just out of respect for my friend Ron's bet, I don't want to throw the little. I don't even want to say the word on it, dude. I don't even want to do that.
The S word?
Yeah, I don't even want to do that. So. Happened way
All
too
right,
many
let's
times.
move on to the last game of the night. And much like the other game, a superstar will be missing. The Clippers are going to be without Kawhi Leonard. He showed everybody what he can do for 2 games out of the year. Looked like a stud those 2 games, but don't ask him to play much more after that. He'll be missing for another season if he continues. So minus 325, the Suns. What are we thinking here?
This spread was like Suns -3, -2.5 with Kawhi in. Now with Kawhi out, it ballooned up to about 7 points. But this is also coming off the news of Tyronn Lue kind of saying, hey, we saved him up in the regular season so he can play 42 minutes, 43 minutes in the playoffs, the way that he did game 1 and game 2.
That's what he was supposed to do, right?
right? And then now we have him here out with an injury that I guess nobody saw happen because it said that it was an injury from, I believe, game 1. And even game 2, he played the whole game. He never sat out or anything. So I don't know, man. This guy, Raul was here with us last week, and he was on Twitter kind of talking about, I'll take Kawhi over KD in the playoffs and over LeBron in the playoffs because you just know what you're going to get. But you don't know what you're going to get, bro, because here it is, game 3, going back to LA, and you're out just out of nowhere. You weren't even questionable on the injury report. You weren't day-to-day. You just out of nowhere. This is some bullshit, bro. It's some bullshit.
I mean,
I
wish I could.
Being a Kawhi fan.
It is BS. I agree with you, and I wish I could, be more emotional about it. But I know the story all too well. Shout out Taylor Swift, but know the story all too well with Kawhi Leonard. He did this to the Spurs. He disappeared for a whole year. Not going to go and talk about that, but hey, he's just a guy that you can't count on him to play. You can't count on him to be there the whole season. This falls, I think, under the injury, management type of protocol for him, where he just doesn't want to go out there and risk further future injury for him. But it's unfortunate for Kawhi because Ben, when you were talking about, Jeremy talking about who he would take Kawhi over. I kind of agree with some of those takes because when he's on the court, Kawhi's he's a Terminator. He is that guy. There's not, a lot of people on this earth who can stop him, and he's one of the only people on this earth that can make KD look average when he's D'ing up against him. If we're being honest, it's
KD's average.
It's unfortunate, with Kawhi being injured. I wish I could say that I'm surprised. But I'm not, because this series, if he's here, you're talking about, damn, can Kawhi will the Clippers to a first round upset over the Suns? You're having those kind of conversations, but instead, we're here talking about Kawhi Leonard and his lack of availability, and where I'm seeing people on Twitter talking about putting injury provisions in his contract, which I think that's another good point to look at for
Uncle
this guy.
Dennis would never let that happen.
I don't know.
If he wants to sign another long-term contract that's big, you got to think that's coming in at some point.
This guy's not going to be playing long-term, man. Like, it's pretty obvious. I don't think that he really – and obviously this is all just, talking out of my ass, but I don't think that he cares about basketball that much to, play 18 seasons like LeBron does or anything like that, bro.
Yeah, he's trying to max out.
I mean, when he's on there, like you said, he can make KD look – the way that he ripped KD and then went back the other way for that dunk, I mean, that shit, you don't see people do that to KD, bro. We were all on that KD prop, and Kawhi was on KD for a majority of that game. Tonight, without Kawhi out there, I expect KD, especially on the road. I mean, I know that the spread is minus 325 and plus 270. Russell Westbrook's going to have something to say about that. Hey, I think it's going to be a close game.
You're not serious,
it's not
right?
a close game. I think it's going to be a close game till it's not a close game. So Clippers early, Suns late, kind of like game 2.
Russ's shooting percentage has dipped in the playoffs compared to the games that he came into. He was shooting around 50% coming into the playoffs. He's like at 30-some now.
Well, game 1, he was horrible. Game 2, he was amazing.
Shout out to Brody though, man. I mean, he's just a guy, and I'm gonna say that you know what you're gonna get out of Russell Westbrook. You might not like it because he's gonna turn the ball over and do some crazy crap at the end of the game, maybe. But when he's locked in, zoned in, you're gonna get 110% effort out of the guy. No one's gonna play harder on the court than him. He's gonna be giving it his hardest, and he's still a quality player at the end of the day. It's not like he's complete trash. He hasn't ever gotten over that, irrational thoughts in his head when the clock is ticking down that he thinks he's prime Michael Jordan.
Tonight is that though, Roland? No Kawhi, no PG.
Yeah, he gets to be that in the playoffs.
Tonight,
it's gonna be fun to watch.
Tonight he is triple double Russ.
So I want to ask you guys, being maybe not so serious here, but with the Suns side of things, and obviously they're looking forward. They're trying to get through to the NBA Finals because of who they've accumulated on their roster with Kevin Durant. We were just talking about him. Are you guys worried at all about the Suns? the way that they play. They don't shoot a lot of threes. That's why this game could be a game until it's not, because the Clippers are just going to be shooting
Mid-range
more threes
kings.
than the Suns. And are you worried about their depth at all, or is this just what you're getting with the Suns?
Guys, with the Suns, this is the thing. Devin Booker is that guy. He is. KD didn't hit his point prop, and it pissed me off because I lost the bet. But he didn't need to hit it, right? Because Booker just went off.
He did.
Talking about guys that did great things last year, last postseason. I mean, that was his coming out party, and now you have him dropping 38. I think it was last game. You know, and it was like an easy 38 to him. It wasn't like he was having the ball all the time, and it was just a casual 38 points. So I think even we're talking about Kawhi, him being hurt and not playing. I didn't think that they had a chance with Kawhi to begin with. You know, he went out and let me see, what did he drop here? He dropped 31. That still was enough with Westbrook, their second best player, dropping 28. You got 31 and 28 from your top two guys. They almost hit a 30-piece each, and you lose by 24 points. I mean, with no Leonard tonight, you're looking at Nicholas Batum, Zubac, Westbrook, Eric Gordon, and who do you slide in for Kawhi? Maybe a guy like Terrence Mann. I mean, come on, guys. I mean, this spread, even at 6.5 to 7, is still Suns all day.
Suns blowout.
It's gonna be a wash. I would take a double result here, maybe depending on the line. Suns to win first half, Suns to win second half. If Russell Westbrook is leading your team, bro, I mean, come on.
Pissed.
Ron, this is a draw.
I mean, this is blasphemy.
This is a draw first half, Suns second half.
Hey, yeah. Yeah, I like that. But no, Phoenix easily runs away with this. Even with Paul George, bro, when Ben was talking, I was hearing him talk about Kawhi, but in my head, I'm thinking Kyrie. I think it's similar situations here, but just Kyrie's so much more out in the open about it, and everybody judges him. And I think Kawhi does it in more of a low key way. I think he still drives like a Toyota 4Runner or something. Everything that Ben said. Yeah, everything that Ben said, bro, I was thinking about it. This guy's like an Adam Sandler who, you know, dresses all cheap or whatever on the sidewalks of the street. I mean, he doesn't care. He made his money. I don't think he wants to be a star. He never likes to be on the mic. He's checked out. He'll still play a little bit longer, but not somebody who really cares about the game, I think, in my opinion. More just like, I made it, take care of my family, I'm good.
Well, to answer Roland's question, yeah, Roland, I think the Suns are, you know, maybe not in trouble, but, you know, there's concerns about that depth. I think it's showing here with the Clippers, a team that they probably should get through. And tonight, if they don't get through, it's too easy, then there's going to be a lot of concerns going forward.
Bro, and I haven't talked about it so much, and I mean, I was hoping one of you guys would bring it up so we can talk about it, but my man, it's time. It's time for you to go off to the pasture and just enjoy your time with your kids, be a family man, get on some more State Farm commercials. The time has passed. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's been a long time, but CP3, I mean, I don't know if he can pull back into the time machine, which, I mean, he really only needs to go back to maybe 1 or 2 years ago to give the Suns the production that they're looking for. But I mean, that mid-range game that was once so patented for him, I mean, it's not there for him anymore. I don't know. I'm a little worried about CP3 going forward, especially because you mentioned that depth. You know, that they really need KD and Booker to go off for 70 combined if CP3 is not going to be contributing at all. So a little worried there.
On yesterday's game or the night before, he did get to some spots, you know, his spots and hit those, but he was 8 for 14. You know, it's not terrible, but he's not creating them as much anymore as he used to, where he would dribble and then find that mid-range shot on his own. Now he's of coming off the pass and doing it.
He's also like the third, maybe arguably fourth option behind DeAndre Ayton. So, I mean, at this point,
Ayton looks bad too, though, man. He's just getting bitched down in the box. I mean, it was crazy.
What Chris Paul has to do is he needs to make sure that he gets Booker and KD the ball in their spots with like a pass that, you know, he can make, because there's not a lot of people that can pass the way Chris Paul is, whether it's, you know, that simple over the head pass, but just get KD and get Booker the ball in those spots that they like, you know, the elbow, free throw line area, and let him go to work from there. As long as he's doing that, as far as offensively generating and getting the playmaking, and every now and then hitting, his occasional 3-pointer, I think that he'll be fine, bro. There's not like point guards in the Western Conference like that are gonna abuse Chris Paul, in my opinion. Westbrook might be the exception for that, and that's because Chris Paul's probably not even guarding Westbrook on defense.
Yeah, man, I got to be on the side with Ben on this one. He put up 16, 4 rebounds, and 8 assists. He had 10 assists in the game 1 loss. But what sticks out to me about Chris Paul, man, is he had 1 turnover in each game. He's a smart OG guy. He's not going to lose possessions for you. And I think that's what you need, and that's what you want in a veteran point guard. Like Ben said, he's arguably the 4th option. So do you really need him putting up 25, 22? He can chill with us with a, light work, 14 to 16 points. I think his IQ is definitely what everybody wants him there for. He's doing his job. Game 1, they only lost by 5. Yes, they did lose it, obviously, but it was only by 5 points. They come out, they get a blowout the next game. I think they're fine. I think Chris Paul is fine, and it's still very early. We're talking 2nd, 3rd game of the first round. As they progress, I mean, let's remember this is a team that hasn't played together very well. KD was hurt, most of the end of the year. So they're still meshing. They're still getting to know one another. And I think as the playoffs go forward, I think that they are a team who's going to have to be, up there with everybody else.
Roland definitely didn't expect
except for their depth.
I agree.
Their depth is
I agree. Like my thing is, like, you can pull up the box score for Chris Paul. Like, he had he scored in the teams. Like, that's cool. And he doesn't need to. That's fine. But I'm watching, when I'm looking at him, he has no lift. It's hard for him to get to his spots. The shots are straight. There's no arch in his shots. I'm telling you, I'm
what
just
you're saying is he's not the guy you once knew.
He's not the guy that I once knew, and he's not the guy that you can count on, I think, consistently to come through for you if you want to have a long run. I know I still think the Suns can get through, and I agree. You don't need him to be that guy. I'm just looking at him on the court, and I can tell he's maybe 2 steps behind what he used to be. And that's all that I'm trying to say, and that gives me worries.
Yeah.
Roland, Ron and I just threw our CP3 capes on with you, pal. I know that you didn't, shine the bat symbol out, but see, I think that they're all right, bro. The West is not that loaded to where CP3 is going to really hold you back just based off of his IQ. Like Ron said, I think the Suns will be all right, and their detriment might just be their bench. But I don't think CP3 is going to be the reason why they don't get over the hump. I don't think that he's that much of dead weight.
I don't think Roland was even hinting at that, though. I think he was just saying that he's noticed a step down in performance. I think that's all he was getting at.
Yeah, I've noticed a steady decline from
I mean, definitely, his play's definitely declining a little bit. Obviously, he's older. He's like, 38, almost 40. But that's why you go out and you get a KD, to take all that pressure off. You lose a lot, but you go out and you get him because you say, hey, and Devin Booker is still that dude, man. And he's the young cat. He's doing exactly what the young guy in the squad should do. Something like AD should be doing in LA. You're the younger guy. You're the star. Hey, go to work. Booker said yes. AD said F y'all. But that's for another day.
All right, well, let's just wrap it up here. And some fun this weekend. We got a pretty big boxing card. It's Gervonta Tank Davis versus the King, Ryan Garcia. And I just, wanted to chop it up. From a 1 to 10, how excited are you about this fight, guys? I mean, we didn't think this fight would be made. It's kind of a little bit more rare that we get to see the 2 better guys in the division go at each other now. Been waiting for that Spence fight with what's his name?
Crawford.
Carl Spence and Crawford. We never get to see stuff like that. Well, we're going to get to see this in boxing this time. Rolling 1 to 10, where are you at on an excitement scale?
Shoot, I don't want to be too excited here and say a 10, but for all the reasons that you laid out, I am at like about an 8 or a 9 on this in terms of my excitement, just because, like you said, you don't see it so often where you have the guys and the trajectory that Davis and Garcia are on. You really don't see them match up I mean, look what happened the last time we had guys on the trajectory. They didn't match up until they were in their 40s, and Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather, right? That's an extreme example, and who knows if these guys will ever be of that ilk. But it is nice to see these dudes match up at this level. It's even better because, you know, these guys are both active in social media. They're both in the prime of their careers and whatnot. So there is a lot more to this fight because of the talking that's been going back and forth for what seems like years, but for these two. So it is nice that, you know, the Twitter talk is actually going to, you know, come to blows in the ring here this weekend. So I'm pretty excited for this. I'll give you an 8.5 because I said I'm between 8 and 9. So 8.5 on this.
Ben, where you at, Ben? 1 to 10. How excited are you about this?
I'd say I'm at a 7. I am happy that this fight got made. I know that we got a bunch of like fake, you know, social media posts prior to it officially being made. You know, it's been years brewing. I am excited for the fight. I just don't know if the product is going to be like what we expect. The reason why I'm giving it a 7 is just the lead up. Like, I really don't like what they've been doing with the lead up. I don't like the way Tank has been talking.
Oh, Ben cut out.
There is some rainstorms.
Yeah, what happened? Where'd he go?
He might have had his internet go out. I'm not sure that happened. I know my lights flickered a little bit over here.
And he got the new internet this week too, and he's out.
Oof,
Ron, 1 to 10. How excited are you about this fight?
Man, 6.8.
No, quit
bro.
lying,
I'm
bro.
really
You've been
not
talking
hyped.
about this nonstop.
No, I'm not, bro. I'm not. And they've been I like haven't even watched all the pre-fight stuff where they're supposed to, you know, get everybody involved and, you know, yell and scream and make everybody want to go pay pay-per-view and see this fight. I really like, if I see it, I see it, but I'm not gonna be like, hey, bro, let's get the fight this weekend, man. We need to see it. I because of what Ben said too, the performance I think it's not gonna be there. I'm not saying it's gonna be Conor Mayweather, but I think that the social media thing actually hurts them because you start thinking like, is it just about the money? You know, do these guys really want to hurt each other? Do they really, you know, not want to milk us for more money? And that's kind of the way it is now. It's the purity in boxing has been gone a long time. And I think that that's really what affects me from wanting to see this fight, because it's not like when Juan Manuel Marquez was going to fight, you know, or when Eric Morales was going to fight, or Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. was going to fight, you know, even De La Hoya, you know, Trinidad, where you were like, these guys really take the sport seriously. They, you know, they want to go in for their country. And at the end of the day, they probably really don't like each other. And now it's just such a media spectacle that you don't know what to believe anymore. And boxing to me was one of the most pure sports out there. And yeah, man. And I think that's why I'm not excited to see it. It's going to be all over social media anyway. So I'll see some highlights. I could see a little stick and jab here. They're not going to want to get embarrassed. They're not going to want to get knocked down. So I don't think that they're going to risk a lot.
Someone's going down.
I would hate.
Someone's going down. Take the under. Someone's getting their lights put out here. I think a lot of that's there's gonna be a lot of emotion in this fight. Justin, and you know, don't want to disregard anything that was just said right now, but Justin, when you look at this fight and you look at these guys and the trajectories that they're both, I want to say they're both undefeated. They're both working their way towards being consistent pay-per-view guys. That's what you work towards when you're in boxing. You want to be that pay-per-view name. You want to be that A side. Do you think there's anything at play here? Like whoever wins continues going on their trajectory and becomes that guy. Do you think there's a lot at stake here in terms of their futures, or are you on the side of Ron and saying that there's, you know, not a lot at stake here and it's a big?
No, I'm not on the side of Ron at all. I think there's a lot at stake here, and Davis is kind of the A side here, and he's kind of already had pay-per-views under his name. So this, if Garcia wins, this shoots Garcia into superstardom, and if Davis finishes Garcia, it puts him back on that same trajectory at an even higher level. You know, a lot of people like to say he was in the Mayweather protection program, picking hand-picked opponents so that he can knock them out throughout those fights. Well, guess what? This is not a Mayweather protection program fighter. It's somebody that they kind of didn't want him. They steered him away from fighting. You would see Ryan Garcia calling him out multiple times over and over, and you would see Tank kind of just, you know, oh, he's too small. He's a boy. He's not old enough. Well, it's going to happen now. Ryan Garcia, a lot of people don't realize this guy came up to the amateur ranks. He has a lot of skills in the boxing ring, and that left hand is one of the fastest left hands. You never see it coming. So I really think Ryan Garcia has a chance to put it back on Tank Davis the way Leo Santa Cruz was doing to Tank Davis until Tank Davis finally caught him with that big uppercut. So I'm not saying I'm going to go Ryan Garcia, but I can see the path for Ryan Garcia to happen. Now, what I'm excited about, was Ron was kind of talking down on, was the social media aspect. This fight is driven by social media, and I want to see this new wave of boxing fans. How many of these social media guys on TikTok are going to go purchase this? I want to know the numbers, and I'm super excited to see, is this going to be the new wave? Is this the way it's going to happen? Alan Therese is talking about the stipulation that Tank has put on Ryan Garcia. He cannot rehydrate past a certain amount of pounds. He's going to have to stay at a certain weight. But now that Garcia's getting this fight, now you have Devin Haney calling Garcia out now too. People want to fight Ryan Garcia now. So he's in the mix regardless at the end of this fight. He's going to be a name, and he was fighting on undercards before. Now he's going to be fighting on pay-per-views.
So all he's got to do
is
not get embarrassed, and he's still in the mix.
That's all he's got to do.
Yeah. What were you saying, Ron?
Exactly. Which is why I'm saying, what do you think is really going to happen and what do you want to happen are two different things in this fight. Yeah. Because what
for sure.
What I think is going to happen. Yeah, but like you can't say, "Oh, I want Ryan Garcia to win," and I know he's going to go out there and knock him out because he's the better fighter. It's like
he's the better boxer, but he's not maybe the better fighter.
To me, at the end of the day, it's a very it's stupid comparison, but like George Masvidal, Gilbert Burns fight, where nobody really wanted to get embarrassed. They went the distance, and everybody kind of kept their respect.
But there's no bad blood.
Think if you want to, yeah, this is all fake bad blood to me.
Fair enough.
And like you guys were saying, they both stay at the top. You know, Garcia doesn't get punished. Tank doesn't get punished. It's fairly even fight. Some people are going to have Garcia, very controversial fight. They both stay at the top. They both keep bringing in that pay-per-view money. That's the way that I see it, man. I can't shy my eyes away from that.
Fair enough.
Very scripted.
Fair enough. So Justin, let me ask you here. You think Tank has more to lose stepping into the ring with Garcia right now? Because you're saying Garcia has been calling for Tank, and he finally caught his attention. So you're saying Tank has the more to lose here in this matchup?
Yes, because he's already headlining pay-per-views while Garcia's fighting on undercards of pay-per-views. So Tank definitely has more to lose here. I mean, with the knockout loss to Tank, this would definitely hurt him some.
If Ryan Garcia can win this fight and do it in a way like you're saying, Justin, show that he's, that legit boxer, he has that hand speed that's unmatched, right? Because we all know Tank's path to victory, and it's going to be putting him out. That's just the way that it's going to be, right? Tank's not going to go out there and outbox him. It's going to have to be Tank putting him out and Garcia, being the point fighter. But anyways, what I'm trying to say for Garcia, if he wins this fight, I think he can be on the trajectory. I'm not saying he's going to be there, but he could be the guy that's molded into the next golden boy and corner that mark.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's going to be cornering that mark, and he'll be that representative. He'll be golden boy, and he'll be that dude going forward if he gets his victory.
Yeah, so I think Garcia has two paths to victory while Davis has one. Davis has the knockout as his path. Ryan Garcia, like I mentioned, that amateur background will come into play, and he can outbox him to a decision. I think that's possible as well. And, he could knock him out. Ryan Garcia does win by knockout, so that's a possibility too. So I think Davis might find him in the end because Garcia does get a little chinny sometimes, especially when he's in his bag and he's punching through. But man, I would love to see Garcia become the new pay-per-view king. I really would.
Dang. So and you didn't give your number on a scale of 1 through 10 in terms of excitement for this fight.
I'm a 9.
Where are you at here?
I love boxing. Okay. I love MMA. And to get two headliners like this, I've been looking forward to it, especially because I've been seeing Ryan Garcia, on the hunt. He's been hunting down Tank Davis, and he's finally getting what he wants. He better show up and show out because he's getting what he wants.
Yeah, no, he is. Any credence here with Garcia not being on good terms with Canelo, or you think Garcia still got a good camp, good head on his shoulders?
He's been better without Canelo because he went to Joe Goossen's camp, and Joe Goossen has brought him out to be a lot better. He wasn't getting enough one-on-one attention with what's his name? Canelo's trainer, I forget. His name is
Boo boy.
No, it's like Ray something or whatever his name is. I can't think of the name, but anyway, Joe Goossen's one-on-one with Ryan Garcia. I think Joe Goossen's one of the better boxing names and better trainers of all time. So I'm okay with him leaving.
All right. Anything else that you want to unpack on the fight this weekend, Justin?
I might have some links. Hit me up.
Yeah.
All right, man.
No, that's it, man. Good show.
That's it. Well,
Good Thursday.
unfortunately, Ben had to deuce out. I'm pretty sure it's weather at this point, but thank y'all for tuning in, man. And happy April the